IELTS Writing, Academic Writing Task 2, Tips and Strategies, Part 3. And now we'll discuss our final paragraph of the essay, which is conclusion. Remember, a good conclusion briefly sums up the ideas you developed in your essay. It is a restatement of the thesis and main ideas you laid out in your introduction. It usually sounds a lot stronger with its opinion and more convincing than introduction. So as you remember, in our introduction, we describe the topic, provide thesis statement, and 3 main ideas, maybe 2. And here we have our example for introduction. The divorce rate is increasing in many places. I believe that the breakdown of extended family and the stresses of work are the major causes of this situation. Fortunately, although these issues have led to a rise in the divorce rate, there are ways we can solve this problem. And as you remember, conclusion restates what we had in our introduction, and I have the following sentences. There are a lot of demands in modern lives that place stress on marriage and lead to divorce. However, people can choose to make changes to their lifestyles that can result in a better, stronger marriage. And total count of words 36 in my conclusion. But as you can see, my first sentence kind of paraphrases what I had in introduction, but also in my second sentence, I provide kind of a solution or my own opinion how this problem can be solved. So conclusion can be written differently, but it's just a restatement of your introduction using different words and kind of finalizing your ideas, what you discussed in your body paragraphs. And that's our conclusion part. And here we have our final step 3. It's a revising your essay. I provided for you a link so you can follow and understand the requirements and what you need to do in order to attain a high score. Anyway, so here we have a brief summary of the things you need to keep in mind in order to receive a high score on the writing task 2. First of all, it's addressing the task. When you address a task, you mention your thesis statement and main ideas. As you remember, your thesis statement tells what type of essay you have, and main ideas mention specific reasons that you are going to discuss in your body paragraph. Coherence. Coherence means that every body paragraph you have begins with a main idea or specific reason. Then supporting details. Every reason you provide, you have to support it with a good example or explain it and give more details about it. Next one, we have cohesion. So here we have, as you see, introduction, conclusion. So that basically means that your conclusion restates your introduction that we discussed earlier. Transition words, these are words such as first of all, secondly, in addition, also, however, finally. These are type of words you have to use in your throughout your essay, and you do not need too many of them. Just make sure you have at least 4 or 5, so that will make your essay sound so much better. And the next part is our lexical resource. For lexical resource, you have to make sure you have different vocabulary words and you're not repeating the same words over and over again. And also keep in mind spelling, it's very important. And last point is our grammatical range and accuracy. And sentence variety, that means that you have 4 different types of sentences that we discussed many times earlier. So you have to make sure you include 4 types of sentences, such as simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. And the last point, it's accuracy. So that means when you write your sentences or your essay, just try to be very accurate and do not use the words you're not sure about. A lot of times students like to use complicated academic words and they do not understand. Sometimes students do not understand their meaning and they still use them in order, maybe because they want to impress examiners, but this is extra, so you don't really have to do that. Just keep it simple and make sure it's easy to understand your idea. So be accurate with your tenses, be accurate with your spelling, vocabulary, things like that. So if you keep in mind these points and you try to do them in your essay, I'm sure you are going to do great while completing this task. And that's all we have for revising, and that's our final step 3. And here we have some useful words and phrases that you can use in your essay. In order to state your opinion, you can use one of these following phrases. I think, I believe, I consider. You can also say, in my opinion, from my point of view. So just pick a couple of them and try to remember so you do not repeat yourself over and over again. And these are common transition words and phrases that can be useful for your essay in the future. So just try to learn some of them and try to use them when you practice over and over again, and that will be a very good practice for you, and also that will ensure you are well prepared for your writing. And now we are going to review our recap to the writing task 2 and things you should remember. Alright, so as you guys remember, you have 40 minutes to complete writing task 2, and you need to write 250 words. You can write more as you wish, if you wish, but you should not write less than that. Also, you should make sure to state your personal view. Remember, you're writing task 2 based on personal view, so you can freely write things like I think, in my opinion, I believe, I consider. So do not hesitate using such phrases. It's totally normal to use them. And that's the difference we have between writing task 2 and academic task 1, as you remember. And always make sure that you understand the prompt before starting to write, because without understanding the prompt, that means your entire essay is going to be incorrect. So please make sure you read 2 or 3 times at least before starting to write. It's very, very important. And another important point to keep in mind also, not copying exact words. Instead, paraphrase the words you have in the task with synonyms. And begin each paragraph with the main idea. So when you begin each paragraph with the main idea, you're introducing your topic and you are preparing the reader to read the entire paragraphs you have. So without knowing that, it's going to be very confusing. So keep that in mind. Always introduce your main idea in every body paragraph. All right, and also it's very good when you include supporting details. So for example, you have body paragraph 1, you begin your first sentence with the main idea. Then to explain your main idea, you including, for example relating to that main idea. And of course, always try to smile and do your best. And I think it is very important that you guys come to your test feeling rested so you can stay focused. And yeah, so keep those things in mind and practice a lot, and I'm sure you're going to do well